some guests and attendees here. Miss Leila Rodriguez so graciously is sponsoring through her Mary Kay Independent Consulting Company. Leila, S-L-E-I-L-A, Leila Rodriguez has a door prize for us. And this is the door prize here. Oh, that's backward, isn't it? Sorry, but it's called Clear Proof. Miss Rodriguez is gracing one of our special guests today, with this product from Mary Kay Consulting. It is suitable for all skin types. It is a triple action mask for deep cleaning, skin clarity, and absorbs excess oils. And it is painless. And most coral masks require a peel off. This one just needs to rinse off. So you guys want to get your face exfoliated and get it together. Someone today is here and they will, so I need you to put your name if you want to win this today. And after our next few interviews, I'm going to pick somebody or have one of our guests. I might have Mr. Mitch pick somebody in the group to win this. And then you will connect with our chat, put your information, whoever Mitch picks to win this prize, we'll put their information in the chat. Also, I didn't tell you earlier, but Path Magazine with Chris Patrick was also in the chat. If you want to check out Path Magazine, we have some of even our old interviews of different people. I see my interviews in there still, so check that out. But this right here will be for everybody. And then next, I do want to bring up our next guest. We are, let me see what kind of time we're on. 6 minutes behind schedule, but that's all right. Mitch, thank you for your patience, for working with us. And I won't read his full bio, but I will say that he's a daddy of 3. So that's work already. That's work one. He's a best-selling author, serial entrepreneur, meaning multiple businesses, international renowned business speaker, national syndicate radio show host, and former All-American track and field athlete. Mitche Graf has been a passionate serial entrepreneur for over 25 years, dangling his toes in the ponds of many intriguing industries along the way, from selling used bicycle parts out of the garage in the 7th grade to running 4 companies today. He has prided himself in knowing how to squeeze every drop of potential out of his endeavors. And I just want to bring up, and I'm so graciously excited to invite in Mr. Mitch. Mitch, how you doing? Yay!
Kristen, you're doing an awesome job today, by the way. I just want to tell you, the guests so far have been phenomenal. And all those things are what I do. You sure you're not talking about somebody else?
No, I'm talking about you. And you know what? I wanted to read your whole bio, but I'm like, man, you're just—
That's boring. That's boring. We'll just get to the nitty gritty. How's that?
Boring. You know, this is about people. I mean, I'm telling all the speakers, the treasures that you're pouring out. If the entrepreneurs don't really get this, they're losing out on just so much today, because you guys have really just been a blessing to me, and hearing the different stories and experiences that lead up to where you are now, and how you are the person you are. And Mitch, you started as a bicycle. You were in 7th grade, from a little kid to a band.
It actually started before that, Kristen. It started before that. It started in the 4th grade, when all my friends were selling lemonade for $0.25, but I sold it for 50 cents, but I gave you a free cookie. And I had a table with a tablecloth and chairs, and I had an AM radio playing Dodger games. So I created this experience, and I charged twice as much, but guess whose stand was busiest on those Saturday afternoons when I was in 4th grade. So yeah, most of my life, I've kind of done the lifestyle entrepreneur game.
Wow. You know, you sound like my little brother. I think about it, because When you say that, it reminds me, I tell everybody all the time, my little brother used to sell 10 cents. He used to make copies of Mickey Mouse sheets and trace them and sell them for 10 cents to his little kindergarten class.
Yeah.
I was like, what kid would do that? But what kid would look, you knew how to up your game as a kid, you know what I'm saying? Adding a cookie to create more revenue. And that makes sense. So tell me today, I mean, you're running corporations, and I know that you have a radio show and I want to talk about that too, but I specifically want to talk about your businesses. I mean, what are you doing right now?
Well, like most of the people that are in your audience today and many of the entrepreneurs around the world, we've had to reinvent. We've had to innovate because of what's happened in 2020. And it's not going to go back to the way it was before ever. Everyone needs to reinvent. So the companies that I have Power Marketing 101, which I do consulting, I do speaking, I write books, I do all those kinds of things. I also have two manufacturing companies. One of them is called Barbecue Nation. You can find our products in retail stores. You can find it on Amazon. I have another manufacturing company that does dip mixes. We're in about 4,000 accounts across the country. I have a book publishing company. We publish my own books, plus I publish other people's books as well. And then I have an artisan coffee roasting company. So for every bag that somebody buys, I donate $2 to a local charity. So it's kind of a business model that people have done in other industries. So I'm doing it in the specialty coffee industry. And besides that, I got my kids, I got my dogs, I have my guppies, and I love life. I try to keep busy, but part of the key is I don't want people to think, because you read that bio, and thank you for not reading the whole thing. It sounds like I got a lot going on, and I do, but I really believe that as entrepreneurs, we need to make sure we're focusing on the 20% of the activities that bring us the biggest results. And almost all of your guests today have talked about what's your why. Well, if you spend your whole day doing the 80% of the activities that only bring you 20% of the results, you're going to get bogged down. And as entrepreneurs, we have to be those forward thinkers. We have to be the visionaries. And the way we do that is to free up our time from I'll call it nickel dime stuff, but the $15 to $20 an hour stuff that we like to do ourselves because we're good at it, but it actually costs us money because we should be spending our time doing the $500 an hour activities. And it's hard because in today's world of entrepreneurism, you do it all, right? You got to do the marketing, you got to do the selling, you got to do the clean the bathrooms, you got to vacuum the carpet, all those things. But an entrepreneur should not be spending their time doing those minimum wage activities. You need to delegate it, hire somebody, automate it, eliminate it, figure out a way to free up that time so you can spend it doing the things that mean the most. That
makes sense. I mean, that was my next question. I was going to say time management. So you're already bringing it in. I mean, you're managing so many things. You're doing the radio show, the kids number one I have too. So
hands down, hands down.
They'll take all your time right there.
When I'm an older father, I'm 58. I'm almost 59. I'll be 59 next month.
Wow.
I have a 15-year-old, a 13-year-old, and a 6-year-old. Most of the guys that I went to high school and college with are grandfathers that have grandkids older than my kids. So I waited a long time to have those kids. So by golly, I want to make sure that every one of their first moments, the first steps, the first 4.0 on their report cards, the first heartbreak, I want to make sure that I'm there in that moment. And it's so easy for us to get caught up in that 9-to-5 mentality that we spend 80 hours a week because we're trying to build this empire. And I believe that we need to do it the opposite. We need to build our lifestyle first. Where do you want to live? What kind of car do you want to drive? What activities do you want to be involved in? You figure out what your perfect lifestyle is, and then you reverse engineer to figure out, okay, what does my business blueprint need to look like? How am I going to sell? What's my irresistible offer? How am I going to get the word out there? If I'm going to need employees, what about a website? All those other things. But to me, that's secondary to what is my lifestyle choices and creating that first. And then you work backwards to develop whatever business blueprint you're going to have.
Right. That's awesome. And, in you telling me this, I think about COVID-19 and how I think for everybody, this, what happened in 2020 makes us all value life more,
absolutely.
Looking at what's going on, and even how businesses run. And like you were saying, it's a different type of way of doing things, but everything kind of transitioned our mindset. So I guess what I now want to ask you is on the side of mindset, and I realized, and I guess as I've matured, I'm gonna be 40 tomorrow, but getting older now. Praise the Lord. But I'm getting older, so growing in
You're wiser,
maturity.
getting wiser, not older, getting wiser.
Getting wiser. Yeah, getting wiser. And I believe that's happening finally, praise God, because I've been a little kid for a long time. But the value of mindset, the power in what you think about yourself, and then you were saying the value of family over the process of your business and the business structure. How do you, for somebody that's saying, I have to be the one with the 5,000 hats, I cannot be the one that, I can just set aside this time and that time. And as you were saying, backtrack, but how would you suggest a person like that doesn't have time to do a lot of things? And I say you have to make time, but how do they structure their time so that they're able to function in a capacity to be a family, the mother, father, whatever, and then run their business like it needs to be run, the balance?
That's a great question. And your first guest, the president of the Houston Texans, talked about time chunking. I call it the pod system, a little pod. And if you look at my calendar book, I have the old-fashioned physical one that I still write with my pen in, and I also have it online as well. But I want to visually see it. I want to open up my calendar and say, here's what I got for this week. But everything is boxed off. Kid time is boxed off. If I'm going to be in meetings or in a conference like you, I'll box it off. And I don't allow other distractions to come in. And I think that's probably the biggest challenge is, especially now that so many people are home-based, whether you're working for somebody else or you're your own boss, you come home and it's so easy to go, oh, let's throw a ball for the dog because we can. Let's real quick check out what's happening on the news. Let's real quick go and grab a bite to eat and reheat my coffee. And before you know it, your day is gone and you've been 10% productive because you allow, I use that word very liberally, you allow the world's distractions to take over your day and hijack your priorities. And so the way I suggest people do it is you figure out what is the most important things that you have to get done today. And I always say 6. There should never be more than 6 things on your to-do list. Never. If you try to do 17, guess what? You're not going to be very successful. You're going to set yourself up for failure. So by picking a number of 6, put 6 things on your to-do list, and then very methodically go about knocking those things off one at a time. And if there is something that doesn't get completed this day, that's the beginning of your list for tomorrow. And what you'll find is you start organizing your day in these little bite-sized microcosms of what you have to accomplish. And before you know it, you're uber efficient, you're more effective, and then you start freeing up time. You say, hey, I got an extra 30 minutes today. I got more done today, but I got an extra 30 minutes. What am I going to do? Well, you can either A, build your business more, B, put it into training of your staff, C, here's an idea, go spend it with your kids, take your wife out to a coffee, whatever it is that's important to you. And we all have our different list of priorities. So by doing things that way, and one of your guests also said, my one thing today, what's my one thing today? Tomorrow it might be different. I might have a different one thing that I'm going to do today. That's the most important to make sure that train is going down the track straight. And we all have that different definition of what the perfect lifestyle is to us. And you don't have to give that 80-hour work week. I call it the new 24/7 mentality. 24 hours a week, 7 months a year. And for the last 25 years, that has been my shining beacon on the hill is how can I work 24 hours a week, 7 months a year, and have the rest of the time to do the things that I want. And so everything I do is kind of with that in mind. Am I successful? Not all the time, no. Pretty darn close for most of the time. And I make sure that I'm automating every system I have within my companies. I'm making sure I'm delegating the things that I don't have to do, the less than $500 an hour tasks. I delegate those things to other people. And I make sure that every day I'm reviewing it, making sure that I'm doing the most important things that bring me the biggest return on my time. Because time is the biggest asset you have, that I have, that all the listeners have, is our 86,400 seconds that we are given each day. And the most important decision is, how do we spend those seconds? That's it.
Right. Thinking about that, guys, I mean, just that right there is a major nugget. Miss Knoxburg, I don't have. Oh, the video he was. I don't know. There's no video, guys. They had a video. They were saying, "Did we have the video?"
And Kristen, I gotta say, you're a stick-to-itiveness person with all the technical things that we have to learn today with the new world, right? The virtual conventions, the virtual conferences, something as great as what you're trying to create and launch here. Tech is something that none of us feel comfortable with, right? But you're rolling with the punches, man. You got that smile on your face, and I love it. And the value that's being delivered is just absolutely phenomenal. But I just want to make sure that I give the kudos to you for putting this together. I've sat through the first 3 and I've taken notes. I got 2 pages of notes. And I believe that you don't have to write down everything. Write down one thing from each little section that makes sense to you, that you can say, you know what, I can take that, massage it, change it, and adapt it to me, my business, my personal lifestyle choices, and put it to play. Here's what I've written down so far. Learn, earn, return. How simple is that? But it's very powerful. Become the best salesperson you can become. If you don't know how to sell, it's not a problem. Learn how to do it, and there's great resources out there, or find someone who can. Those are the 2 choices.
Yes.
Number 3 was run your own race, right? Chris was talking about run your own race. Don't run somebody else's race. Don't let other people tell you what you can and can't believe in. You believe in yourself, you run your own race. Magic starts to happen in those gray areas right there. And number 4, know your why. And that's been a talk for 10 years, ever since Simon wrote that book. Know your why. Why are you doing whatever it is that you do for a living? Why are you starting that business? Why are you working for the company? Why? Is it your kids?
Yes.
Is it time off? Is it retirement? We all have a different definition.
Yes, and the same, you guys are successful business people, and the same thing, it seems like a theme is happening overall throughout our interviews, and even with your interview. And I thank you, first of all, for the encouragement, because I was just praying, like, Lord, let this stuff flow properly. And I thank my team even now, because you're saying this, it's not me, it's the team behind the thing that's, I'm asking them, like, what button to push, So what do I do, And it's funny, I think I'll think about it, they're probably talking behind me like, oh, she crazy. She don't know anything. But anyway, that's what we have the team.
Another saying I love is, it's not how many times you get knocked down, it's how many times you get up again. And as long as you get up one more time and you get knocked down, life is good, right?
Absolutely. Now, I want to ask you this, because you're an athlete, but
long time ago.
You know what? My husband always says is your body has a memory of doing, and my husband was in track, and
that's what I did.
Yeah. I always, I'm not an athlete. I mean, he's like, you're an athlete if everybody's an athlete. And I'm like, whatever. So I had to come to that mindset.
Right.
That's a mindset
in my mind, Kristen, I still can run a 45-second 400 meters. In my mind, I think I can, right? Because the training that I had, I went out there last year. I do some helping with local track teams, and I went out there to work with the sprinters, and they're all like, "Come on, coach, why don't you show me what you got?" It's like, okay, my mind, yeah, I can do this. You guys are nothing. You're 16 years old, right? After about 50 meters, they had already blown past me, and I said, okay, never mind. Hamstring. Oh, hamstring.
I was gonna say being pumped to pull something, trying to get there halfway. That's hilarious. But hey, it is what it is. But hey, you can give back to them with your wisdom and understanding, and you have the know-how. Sometimes people have the skill or they have the ability, but they don't know how. This is why you guys are here too. I mean, some of the people that are online, they may have ideas, but how am I supposed to do it? I wanted to ask you on the side of being in sports, how do you take that mentality? Because even now you're telling me in your head, you see it, you can do it. So I feel like, and we have a lot of people that were in sports that are going to be on the show today. That ability in sports, what is it that drive? I can't tell you because I didn't run track or play basketball on it, but what is it in you guys that helps you to drive you to push success, if that makes sense, from a standpoint of mentality, mindset?
Right. Another good question. Well, the training that I got from athletics, whether it was football or basketball or the the sport that paid for my college, which is being a sprinter, a 400-meter and 200-meter sprinter. The thing that I think I still have inside of me today is the ability to set goals and then figure out how do you go about daily accomplishing those goals. You can't just say, I want to lose 25 pounds like you did. You can't just say that and it just magically happens. You have to say, I want to lose 25 pounds, but first of all, I want to lose 2 pounds this week. And then here's 3 things I'm going to do to make sure I lose 2 pounds this week. I'm going to drink more water. I'm going to cut out the sugars from Christmas. I got a whole box. Santa brings me chocolate. It's not me that likes it. It's everyone else in the family. It just disappears. You know what I mean? But we have to have that willpower to say no. But the biggest thing that I think that sports has taught me is, in being a sprinter, I want to get as fast as I can from here to here, point A to point B, straight line, most efficient, the fastest, and that's how you win the race. So you take that and you extrapolate it into the business world. We're all trying to be more efficient, right? We're all trying to take the systems that we have in place today, whether you're a multi-million-dollar company or a startup in your garage. You take the systems, you break them down into the smallest number of pieces, and then rebuild those systems with fewer moving pieces. So it's easier to manage, easier for someone else to take care of. Another rule of thumb is, if you can find someone to do a task 70% as good as you, no one's going to do it as good as you, at least in your mind. Find someone that can do it 70% as good as you, done. Delegate it, give it to somebody else. That frees up that time again. And it's kind of all together, but sports really is a great launching pad for business minds, because it teaches you stick-to-itiveness and teamwork. You can't do anything on yourself. I always believe that you hire people around you that are smarter than you, and then you stay out of their way and let them do their job, right? And make sure you give them the attaboys and the pats on the shoulders and the recognition for a job well done. 25 years I've been an entrepreneur, never received a paycheck since the early 90s. I got bored a couple of years ago. Hard to believe with everything I like to do. I got bored, and I heard that they were looking for a president of a local Class A affiliate for the San Francisco Giants, the world champion San Francisco Giants. Like, how hard can that be? It's just a business, right? So I called the owner of the local team, the Salem Kaiser Volcanoes, and I said, I think you need someone like me. You need a business guy to come in and rebrand and run it like a business. And he said, no, I need a baseball guy. It's like, no, you need a business guy. So I said, here's my name. Check me out. About an hour later, he called and he goes, okay, let's have coffee. And so I took a year off from my businesses. I transferred everything over to employees and to my wife, and kind of took a year off. And I ran a professional sports team for a year. And then COVID came. I stepped down from that position so I can take care of my own companies and homeschool my kids and all those kinds of things. But sports is just a wonderful launching pad. Even if you don't have sports in your background, just watch Rudy, and that gets you all fired up to make a difference in the world.
I do. I love Rudy. I love it. I love it. He's the little one, but he was the most powerful. You know, he had this. His story was told.
He had the heart, and he had the mindset. You know, the mindset of a champion. Whether you're the champion or not, having a mindset of a champion, it's something that all of us can do. We're not the best in the world. You just have to be the best you that you can be, and the best you for your family and for your children, your spouse, and your employees.
Right.
Basically, the name of the game.
That's awesome, Mitch. I mean, this information is so valuable. And we. I told you you're a man after my own heart with the music and everything. When we talked, and I was like, I gotta interview this guy because he wrote a song for his wife, and what was it, your anniversary or something like that?
No, I actually wrote it for her when I proposed to her. And the project back in the 80s and 90s, I used to write music, play guitar, write music, and then all these songs went into a box and went onto the shelf for 25 years. And then COVID hits, I have some time in my hands, like we all do, like we all did. And so I decided to take the songs into a recording studio. So I hired the best vocalist I knew, because I can't sing worth a darn. I can play guitar and background vocals. Hired the best vocalist, hired the best engineer, hired the studio, and I went in and recorded a whole album, an actual acoustic guitar album with a phenomenal singer on it. And it's one more thing off my bucket list, believe it or not. So I'm a recording artist now. So.
Yes, 2021. Here I come with that. I've been saying that. You know what? My choice was this: I could have this show, or I was going to produce my little, I guess you call EP,
Right,
with
right.
songs I've written. So when I vetted you, like I was like, man, he's after my heart. I gotta see this guy. But you're so awesome. I mean, the information that you're giving. And I was gonna say too, you were talking about the athlete looks from point A to point B to get to that straight line. And I was told, money loves speed. When you make decisions, you can make a quick decision, you can get it done. And in your business, as you're pushing, you can't kind of linger. Does that make sense of what I'm saying on lingering
Sure.
on the decision? You have to make a decision and hone to it and stick to it, and then do the next thing, if that makes sense,
And the decisions that we make are based on our experience in our life. It's based on our knowledge of the industry and the situation. And then a little bit of it is our gut instinct. There has to be some instinct in there. But that's the same in any industry, regardless of what you do for a living.
Yes. Awesome. This is good. And thank you, Mitch. Our time, we have about 2 minutes, but I want to, Mitch also is giving you a free gift, guys. So if I had some sugar, I'd be like, yay.
Whoop, whoop.
He has his book. And if you look at the link, it's, let's see, is it high voltage?
If you go to Power Marketing 101, the number's 101, powermarketing101.com/free book, just free book. And then what I'm going to do is give you the digital version of high voltage branding, go from ordinary to extraordinary. And it basically just takes you through the mental exercise of what is your brand? Are you a personal brand? Is it a company brand? I take the example of creating a bottled water company, right? Something we can get for free most places in the world. But you can find a bottle of water for $1 or $10, depends on what kind of tribe you want to belong to. And so one of the chapters is we just take from nothing, we create a bottled water company. But it talks you through the things that you need to be aware of when you're building a personal brand, things that you can do to help expedite that, and how to fix a brand if it's broken. A lot of people have broken brands, maybe not realize it because they're so busy in that 8 to 5, right? That 80% of the junk, we get stuck in the mud and we can't do everything else. So anyway, it's just a good fun read, maybe a 60 to 75 minute read, not very long at all. And I'm going to give you a free copy of that just for going to powermarketing101.com/free book.
Thank you. Now, guys, I need you to type in, thank you, Mitch. Mitch I said that you would be able to choose the free gift, the person that gets the free gift. So I need y'all to put your names in the links, please. Everybody put your name, whoever wants to win this free gift of, now you already got, Mitch is giving you the gift of the book, but I'm telling you on the Mary Kay side, because Leela, y'all put your names in the links if you want to win this gift. I got like 2 seconds if you guys want to put your name in the links. I see Pam on here. I see Katie on here.
Am I supposed to just say a name? How am I supposed to pick?
You can pick whoever you like to pick.
Oh gosh.
Whoever wants to win.
Yeah, I'm going to go by my favorite number. I won't tell anyone what that number is, but I'm going to go to that name, and that's going to be the winner. Okay.
Okay.
Do it now?
Yep.
Okay. Pick me. Nicholas Price. You are the proud winner. Wait, this is my husband, right? Wait a minute. Let's go back up here. I have a new favorite number right now, and it's for Chantel Powell. That's the real winner.
Yay! All right. That's good because Nicholas,
yeah.
That's Chantel. Congratulations, Chantel.
Congratulations.
Make sure you put your information into the chat support, and we will get your information and we will get you your gift. Congratulations. And thank you. Mitch, you are awesome. I hope we continue to be connected. I just, watching you, learning from you, the information, I can sit down in a class with you about a week or 3 weeks or so, and get that information. And so thank you for
A
being
lot of trial
on
and
this
error
show.
and a lot of falling down is how it is. So yeah, thanks for the invite, and good luck with the rest of today.
Same to you. And Mitch also, guys, he has his website, and then he also has a you have a podcast, correct?
Yes, Business Edge Radio. We just found out a couple weeks ago that we're in the top 1.5% worldwide of shows, which is kind of cool. But it's a show about business and life. And as you can tell, I'm big on lifestyle. So it talks about, yes, sales and marketing, branding, and time management, but also talks about life. I include a recipe, like a cooking recipe at the end of each show, everything from the perfect cup of coffee to how to make the best double pineapple upside down cake, just for something fun. Because to me, that's it's a passion of mine. And so I want to share the passion and make the point to people that listen that your life can be whatever it is that you want, whatever you believe it to be, as long as you break it down like we've talked about, break it down into small bites, go about it methodically every day. And eventually, like if you read 1 hour a day, if you like to read, great. 1 hour a day on a subject in 1 year, guess what? You're going to be probably one of the top experts in the world in that field. And that's only an hour a day, right? So anyway, I'll talk forever. I'll stop talking.
No, that's good. But that's good information, and that's just kind of feeding off of that. My husband tells me all the time, Kristen, you need to read more. I'm like, I don't want to hear that. No. But you're absolutely right. It increases your vocabulary. It helps you think beyond your own mindset into other people. And so reading, that's another nugget, is powerful. And I believe that. I do believe it. Thank you, Mitch, for being here.
My pleasure.
We hope to have you back again, and we'll be having other series in 2021. So guys,
go get them, girl. You get them, girl. All right.